Good evening, guys and girls. Welcome back to some more VS Gaming Masters action. We're joined this time by good old Jabba. I like that good old Jabba. It fits you so nicely.
The good old Jabba, and it's old man Rock Lee. It's not old man Jabba.
Fair enough. I mean, you look very youthful to me, so I think...
I know the secrets to the fountain of youth.
I think you may need to start sharing them with us.
Yeah, I was.
Look, it's very difficult.
I want to go back on one of those booths. Does do any like reverse? I'm quite keen to have my good old Sand King make its way back into the competitive scene. Poor Sand King. Just
You got shredded.
You've seen him. You've seen Sand King.
Well, listen, Sand King was played yesterday by APG.
Yeah.
Who's up next? APG, O'Malley, Phalanx, Warlock.
Yeah, if you allow APG to pick up aggressive supports for the aggressive supports players, it would work out really well. Most of the time, if they do well, then the rest of the cores get to farm up, and then they end the game nicely. But it's a hard matchup. It's going to be one of these teams are going to be the third team to leave the tournament today, and yeah, it's unfortunately how the tournament goes. But it's hard to see who the favorites are. APG, they are really good. They've been really strong towards the end of last year. Started off strong this year, but in the type of form, I don't think they're there. But yeah, I think that APG it has the upper hand for this matchup against Exdee.
Jabba, speaking of these two teams side by side, obviously I kind of feel like they have similar momentum, but there's a different expectation of both. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think APG's come from stumbling blocks. I mean, their roster's changed, so things have changed. So people expect certain things from the APG brand, from the players themselves. They want them to excel as well. I mean, you've got the veterans like O'Malley and Phalanx that just absolutely dominate the lane. You've got a great mid laner, ACG, and then Bob Buell's just an amazing roamer that can get so much done. For the likes of Exdee, it's one of their bigger events that's coming to the forefront. So they may be the new boys on the block. So, everyone loves the underdog or the dark horse story, as opposed to you looking at APG, where last year they took BVD to the lower brackets, and now this time fighting to stay in the tournament completely.
Yeah, Exdee is one of the newer organizations that came to the Masters, and I agree. They started off strong as an organization, and they've been steady. I don't see why isn't there a possibility that they can't take down APG.
No, absolutely.
I think the thing as well is that it was quite a young team. I think we're going to be stuck with Hunter for a while. That's probably the best way to say it.
Be stuck.
That doesn't sound like a good thing.
Well, it's a good thing and a bad thing. We'll have some moments so that'll be great, and then some not so great, and then the Riddles will be right sometimes, and we know those are the worst kind of moments. But yeah, let's go back to APG for a second, because we do in fact have an interview with one of their players. So I think it would be quite nice if we could toss it over back to APG's lads and see what they had to say.
My name is Philip Swanepoel. I captain APG Gaming, and to be captain just means to keep everything going in the same direction. Esports is growing quite fast in South Africa, but I think APG in particular as a brand will always be one of the top teams, just because of the management and the quality of the players. I think we definitely do. I think we have the best pass record against WG out of any teams. So of course we first have to get to them, but I think we have one of the best chances of beating them. The most competitive member on our team is definitely Chad ACG Simpson. He gets the most emotional out of anyone on our team when something goes wrong and when things go right. Our greatest threat to winning would definitely be Energy Esports. It's going to be a very tough first round match, but we'll have to see what happens. We're probably going to dominate Mythic Gaming. We've had a lot of watermelon this weekend, and I think we're all feeling strong and confident.
That gentleman stands out to me. You guys want to take a guess what that might be? Something particular about that gentleman? Perhaps something that neither of you really have as...
I feel there's a lot of particular things that's a possibility.
He actually reminds us of, for me, he just reminds me of a South African sportsman that actually dominated our rugby scene, Victor Matfield. For some reason, he gives me that kind
that's
of...
not really it, though. No, not that. Although
But he
Victor
gives me
does have
that...
something that he had, too. Reigns, do you want to have a gander?
I actually want to support his statement. He seems like what
Man
I
has a
once...
fantastic beard. A fantastic beard. And the thing about people with beards is that they get along well. He and I are immediately friends.
Okay. Yeah.
One might say brothers, actually.
I'm going to need to start growing a beard as well.
Does that mean I'm part of the club?
You're kind of like an honorary member at this point.
Okay.
You really got to commit to it if you want to be part of the beard club. But I think you would look fantastic with the beard, just saying. As does everyone, really.
I'm going to get a white beard. I want to become your best
Gandalf.
friend.
I mean, if you had a white beard, that'd be pretty cool.
Would you be my best friend?
But I think you should have like, maybe. Depends how good
Just
the
a
beard
maybe.
is.
People are
Just depends how
in love with your beard. Can I just say that? People are in love. They are mystified by what is growing inside there.
good.
Yeah.
It really explains where I keep my MMR. So it's very important to have this beard.
It's hidden somewhere.
It's somewhere. It's not very. The MMR isn't very big, so like, it's easy to just keep behind. You know?
So when you're playing Dota, it's actually your beard pushing the buttons and moving the mouse while you may be eating something.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not even talking right now. This is just the beard. It's literally operating my lips.
I don't know.
Okay. Anyways, that is awkward. That is awkward. It's an awkward thing to do, right?
What was the name? It's like Halbert's beard, and then they were named like Brian.
Brian.
I don't know.
I'm not sure if he's a Brian. To be
No,
honest.
what is he?
Probably like a Raoul.
Raoul.
Got that production?
Raoul.
With the stripe thing on the U.
Yeah.
Or was
pretty
it?
much.
It's the U.
I might be stealing this from someone, this exact line topic, but or conversation. But anyways, okay, that's about my beard. All right, I'd actually like to hear a little bit more about Exdee, and I would have actually liked to sort of talk us into this, but I do think it's probably a little bit short on time. So why don't we go ahead, jump straight into it with our interview with one of the lads from Exdee.
I'm known as Anton in game. I'm known as Fury de Villiers, and I'm the captain of Exdee Gaming. It's a very important role for me because I do enjoy playing with this team specifically and working along the brand Exdee Gaming. I believe we are the youngest on average team at this tournament or in the competitive scene in general right now. So growing forward for the next 2 years, we should have quite a big advantage. We're still young, we can still be doing this for quite a while. Our reactions are all still very good. To win, that's a bit far-fetched. To get anyway, top 2 and below, like, why not? Like, WG is a bit ahead of the rest right now, but like we are on equal grounds or near equal grounds to everyone else, if not ahead. The most competitive member of our team is probably Hunter or Daniel. He has a massive ego, and to keep up with that ego, he has to play very competitively. Our greatest threat to winning this tournament is probably White Rabbit Gaming or WRG. They are clearly just a better team right now, so if we want to win this tournament, they are going to be quite a challenge. Our first game, okay, the team that we would dominate this weekend, make a complete joke of, is probably our first game VNR. We haven't played it yet, but I'm predicting a 2-0, 35 minutes each game. Should be very easy, very smooth, very relaxing. Just a good old warm-up at the start of the tournament.
Gonna show commitment to the cause, quote unquote, a really nice and relaxing warm-up for the rest of the event.
Easy scrims.
I apologize to Fury, but I think the youngest team in this tournament is the panel team.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Just in before production shows us our true age on panel.
Why would you?
Why would you even
people are
prompt them?
menaces.
Because
Like,
I think I am still young. I don't mind him showing my age.
Should I jump
what are
in?
you
18.
suggesting? No, you should not jump in here, production. You
certain?
stay exact. I am so certain. I'm
Bunch
so
of old
certain.
people.
Yeah, you just stay where you are. Okay. The viewers, I apologize. You just need to sort that out quickly. right. So back onto important things at hand. Plus, being the youngest panelist here, I feel like I should listen to the senior guys, especially Reigns being the oldest.
Absolutely. What do you have to say about Exdee, Reigns?
I think Exdee, okay, although they lost 2-0 to XDC, it wasn't like a stomp where they finished in 15 minutes. Especially in the second game, the Queen of Pain started off really well. TKC really showed his mid capabilities, but eventually we could see that taking down the Treant supports in the early game to get a kill advantage doesn't mean that you're going to win the game in the end. You have to go through objective more, and since it's a best of one, I suggest Exdee to just go ham, just do what they can, like show their strength and not to counter APG's weaknesses.
Fair enough.
So playing towards their strengths, making sure that they get done what they need to do, and maybe pick up a different support for Fury.
Not a Crystal Maiden anymore. Are you tired of it as a caster? Are you like Crystal Maiden there, Crystal Maiden that?
Look, I mean, it does great matter. I think that the thing is teams are actually prepared for Fury to pick up a Crystal Maiden. I think it's like the last legs Exdee have in this tournament. They need to like really bring out the big guns. So, I mean, it is a best of one. It makes it really difficult, but I would love to see a Meepo.
Meepo would be a nice one, but I don't think...
Well, not for Fury, but for Hunter. But I'm saying, like that amazing kind of draft. You pick up those big heroes that can actually take them to the finish line.
Yeah. There's one big thing as well for me in this matchup. It may be our last opportunity to see Meepo. If Exdee do drop this, do we have any other Meepo players running around? I don't really think of anyone.
It's a good one. We haven't seen one this meta for sure, but they probably are like, we'll see like a whole...
Don't we deserve a Meepo?
Yeah.
It's definitely something that I think is it will be good. But we'll find out pretty soon as well. The lobby's almost up. Gentlemen, I think it's appropriate that we do this one more time. Who's going home? Who's marching on?
Ooh, okay, Reigns, you start because it feels that everyone that sits in this chair goes first, and it feels like it changes your prediction. So I will give you the honor.
Well, the thing is...
Of making the call first. But quickly, you got to go quickly. We're going to be
sure. Okay, straight up APG.
I would also have to go with APG. I think they're just more of a veteran team that knows how to deal with these kind of circumstances.
Both wrong. It's going to be Exdee because the Meepo dream is real. It's real. It's alive.
Yeah, you got it.
Right.
It's all good.
I think it is one of those games that are going to be very tough to call. I kind of feel like the momentum is behind Exdee though for me, because the thing about APG, they can't be feeling great about their performances of late, and for Exdee, they've already kind of overachieved since, statistically speaking, they were expected to finish 7th, 8th, if I'm not mistaken.
At least the bottom 4, but they came so far. It's very impressive.
Yeah, so they're already ahead. And
look, I think APGs they've experienced LAN events. They've been in this kind of environment. Exdee hasn't so much, and I mean the performance that we saw yesterday coming out from APG with Phalanx and O'Malley, just absolutely wrecking the off lane for their team. If teams can't get ahead, can't deal with the way that they draft, O'Malley and Phalanx are going to create a lot of space for their mid and safe lane.
Yeah, in other words, don't give Phalanx Warlock. Ban it first.
Or Ricky. Have you seen him on a Ricky as well?
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Might just see him on a Ricky because we are now into the draft, guys. Let's see how it goes down. So, Bristleback banned out first by APG, and that's obviously a bit of they've seen it run twice now.
Yeah.
And they're just saying, okay, like if you guys can keep doing this, you're gonna have to throw something else at us, like a Meepo.
Well, they do they actually do tie it up with the Wisp. So denying the Bristleback, unlikely they're going to pick up the Wisp, giving APG the option to pick up the Wisp if they wish.
Yeah, Wisp, Sven, is pretty strong lately. Well, there we go, the Legion Commander. Would have been nice with the Wisp, but I don't think they're going to go towards that, having the Bristleback already banned out. But with XD's other strats, how we saw, Juggernaut being picked last and still the puck, I think APG could secure those bans. But XD banning out to Ursa first, and not the likes of Warlock, for example, how we spoke that Phalanx is really good at it, could be a huge mistake for the Radiant side XD.
Yeah, well, they actually banned out the SK as well. So
this is good.
That please feed the casters. I was actually in that booth. I did get fed. I did get some lasagna. So thank you very much, and thank you for changing that sound. But SK, they did ban out the SK. So it now leaves the opportunity for APG to pick up the Warlock. But the SK is gone. Your dream is gone, Dev.
once again.
I feel like like firstly, have you noticed how Jab is like almost trying to crush me here? Like, now that your dream is over, are you going to like how are you going to recover? Or do you think it's even worthwhile trying?
Oh wait, but you have a beard, so it's easy for you.
I'll just keep tanking nice and safe in my beard, like a loving pet.
It's going to be like a little epicenter in your
You know what we should call your beard? The sandstorm.
Hey.
I mean, just purely based on I can't really call it like caustic finale. It's just
That sounds cool.
yeah.
Well, sorry to disappoint you, Jabba, but they picked the Crystal Maiden once again. Yeah, and the Dogs here, Halbert always said, with past few games even, it has a 0% win
Well,
rate.
as of yesterday, I'm not sure if it's
No,
today.
I actually got feedback from Sargon. He's actually got a 17% win rate.
My mistake.
And that is
My mistake.
after this last game that Exdee played. So really looking at the bottom of the barrel here and going for a really, really weak hero here in terms of the Dogs. I don't think he did enough for his team as what you'd hope.
Yeah, it just. But I don't think it's the hero, right? Like, there's a reason that this is picked up. It's a good hero. I just feel like people aren't putting something with it that makes it that strong. And why are we not seeing Sven? I mean, we've seen it once. We've seen it on the winning side once, right?
Yeah.
And it was a monster, right?
Yeah.
And it works so well with Dogs. Dogs is a big pickup. Sven's a big pickup, and these heroes not being picked up together really.
Yeah, I
So-
agree. When Whelp played the Sven, Sanso played the Crystal Maiden, and it was brilliant. I think they should pick up the Sven, XD, but we've only been seeing Spectres and Juggernauts from them. I really hope that they pick something fresh for Hunter.
It's actually true. I mean, we were chatting to Hunter, I think it was on the first day, maybe even the rehearsals day, and he was mentioning that he's not particularly comfortable in Sven. I was hoping that was one of those things where you tell the panelists to sell it,
lies.
and then everyone's like, oh, we don't need to worry about Sven, and then the Sven comes out and it's really good.
Make the
But
story
I
happen.
think it is just a case of he's not comfortable in the hero, and they're going to go elsewhere. But there are other things that work with the Darks here, right? I mean, it's not like only Sven works. And Jakiro is actually really good with Darks here. It's more of a sport. You could potentially look at it as playing as a sort of a light core, if you will.
Yeah.
And it's good. And it's good in the meta. And I think that I'd like to see Exdee go for that if they're not going for Sven.
And also banning out the Meepo from APG. It looks like every single team has respected Hunter's Meepo, which is really good. That gives XD basically an extra hero to pick from. Imagining just expecting the enemy team just to ban out the Meepo so you can have something else. And here comes the Ricky, which we actually assumed APG to have picked.
Yeah.
Here comes XD's.
So you reckon more of a block pick than a pick for themselves?
I don't think
No,
so.
I don't.
Warlock has already been picked. Now they go for the Spirit Breaker. Actually, you might be right, because they are both pretty much irritating heroes to play with. Spirit Breaker on one side, Ricky on the other. But I don't know, I feel like this is quite good. I'm not going to complain about anything for XD's side. I like the draft so far. Banning out the Invoker as well. It just stops ACG to pick one of his favorite heroes. But otherwise, I'm keen to see what XTC picks up next. And I think it is going to be a mid-hero.
Well, I mean, how does XT now deal with the Spirit Breaker? We've seen it do really well and be that absolute annoyance that you spoke of.
Yeah.
How do you actually deal with the Spirit Breaker? Teams kind of dealt with it with the Disruptor. You obviously can't go for it. You've picked up your fifth and your fourth position for XD.
Yeah.
What do you do now for a Spirit Breaker? Do you maybe get a super tanky mid, maybe a bit of a tanky safe lane, or what? What do you do in this situation? Because Spirit Breakers can absolutely, if they get ahead, it can actually be really, really difficult.
I mean, one might say that if you're not careful, it could break your spirit. I was told to say that. I have witnesses. But I do know and have another lame thing to tell you as well. You see, the way you counter a Spirit Breaker is you block out the sun with your wards. Because if you can see him coming, he is much less of a threat. So that is the way I think that we'll look at it. And of course, this Crystal Maiden is basically, those blonde locks are just
Too
literally
juicy.
falling out and being replaced by wards as we speak. Yeah, unsurprisingly, Juggernaut comes out, one of Hunter's, I guess, comfort heroes.
Yeah, okay. We wanted to see more carries from XD, but they go with their comforts. If it's not a Spectre, which takes like 2 hours to farm up, you get Juggernauts who can stay active in fights, can help out, can have the supports to take over, stay behind him and try to grab the heroes. But this is why the drafting phase is such a brilliant thing. Third picking Spirit Breaker is basically waiting for Exdee to pick out the supports. Mostly, that's what you want to do in the beginning of your phases, your drafts, just to pick your supports, pick your offlane and see what happens. So third picking Spirit Breaker blocks the opportunity for Exdee to counter it with supports like a Keeper of the Light, which has been completely ignored in the ban phase. So by that reasoning, I think Aperture has been top-notch with the pick and bans, and here comes the anti-mage to follow as well, which is great because they have disables like from the battery assaults and the ulti from Clockwork and also the warlock, and the Spirit Breaker is just an annoying hero to deal with.
I have a question now. I don't know what Hunter's hero pool is, but I mean, we haven't seen a Slark being picked up at all, and I mean, I had the opportunity of casting a lot of the master games coming up to this event, and a lot of the teams were showing a lot of respect to the Slark. This time around, got 0. It did get a little bit of a nerf in the update. It went from 1.9 intel to 1.7. I don't think it's enough to not actually pick up the Slark. What is the reason for teams not actually doing it? Because or picking it up?
It's interesting you say that because there is a shadow buff to Slark. One of the really useful things about Slark is that he can actually not abandon his lane, but he can actually move out of his lane into the jungle at level 6 and allow the extra experience to go the way of the supports, which can be very, very helpful, especially if you're planning to running something a little bit like ulti reliant, things like Disruptor, Phoenix. Obviously, Phoenix is probably more of a core these days, but all the same, you can pick that hero if you want to sort of activate those particular types of supports. So I don't necessarily think we won't see Slark, but I think we'll see Slarks when we're going to see a lot more emphasis on the support being, truly like valuable in these team fights. And of course, Crystal Maiden is basically an aura and free damage when you can get it, and Ricky is a ward. So it's not really. I really just lambasted these two. But I think that Slark's potentially still in it. But
look,
not of course.
Especially with the clock being picked up, I mean, if he does get cogged, he can always leap out if the opportunity arose and try and get out of that sticky situation. But, I mean, the CM, the Jugger, one of those classic pickups that you'd normally actually see. And APG opting for a ACG Queen of Pain.
That is a bit different. I'm so used to ACG playing an Invoker. It's just really different to see him on this hero, although he does play it quite often. But I like this pick, the Death Prophet from Exdee. It's been quite popular. We've seen Dreamy on it. It has potential for days, but with TKC, I can see he'll do well in it.
I think this could actually be a very decent pickup here for Exdee. I mean, they've got things to actually deal with. As soon as you've got Clockwork trying to engage, Spirit Breaker trying to engage, you've got Death Prophet then popping out the Exorcism. We've got the Smoke Cloud coming out. They've got a lot of silence on the side of Exdee to deal with the Queen of Pain as well as the Anti-Mage.
So let's see if Aperture can break the spirits of Exdee or the other way around.
Well, on that note, I do believe we have a little bit of a surprise. We do in fact have Little Sheep casting this matchup, and he's going to be joined by Wilson XXL. Hello, Little Sheep and Wilson XXL.
Damn, it's good to be back in the seat, baby. Yep, I've just made everybody in this room cry salty tears. I believe Kelly over there is about to cry because I just scared her.
I was a bit scared. I mean, it's good to hear you in such good spirits.
Yeah, you mentioned.
Keep it up, man. I think it's time for us to tap out. Boys, have a good one. Take it away.
Right, so without any further ado, without barely need for introduction, TKC, Fury, Rockley, Japper, and of course Hunter. Damn, this is going to be one hell of a fine match. They're sitting on the Radiant side, whilst on the Dire side, there are also a lot of names to be introduced, but sitting right next to me, the sheep himself, Scarpy.
The little Scarpy, apparently. But yeah, we're going to have O'Malley. We're also going to have, of course, ACG in the mid lane, Bob Eels, Phalanx, and PSL, and on their respectable heroes. It's looking pretty interesting, this draft. Not exactly going what I expected, but yeah, this is it's very, very interesting. First anti-mage I think I've seen this tournament. Very keen to see how that works out for PSL. I think this is also a favorable pickup for him. And I think the Death Prophet, first time we're going to see TKC playing on that for quite some time. So I'm very intrigued to see the outcome of this. And remember, keep in mind, best of one.
Exactly. I was going to actually ask you about that. How does the best of one really change the mentalities of the boys in the box at the moment, especially for the side of Exdee? They've just come off a rather crushing defeat. And although they're looking all smiles inside the box, that must play tricks with their minds.
Yeah, I think they knew what they were getting themselves into the last game. They knew it was going to be a difficult challenge. They went in with positive attitudes. They came out still with positive attitudes. If you go speak to those guys, they still, maybe inside they might be a little bit hurt, but they gave it their all. And that's all you can ask from anyone. So they feel confident going into this matchup. And I believe that they can definitely do something here and make an upset. Some people might say it's an upset if they knock APG out of the tournament.
Some people say that, other people say other things. I know that certainly Riddit sitting at the back of the box there helps out in terms of spirit and morale. And he'd be, I think, surprised to find his team knocked out quite so early. Me personally, I'd like to see Hunter progress, I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
I got a good feeling.
I'm with you.
Then again, I did have a good feeling about Mythic too, and they were the first man out.
Well, you said it on your panel that they were going to potentially transition to be the better team in the future. So you said that right.
I've saved myself.
I've got your back here. I've got your back. The panel said APG. We say we're taking Exdee.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Exdee on this one. Just got a damn good feeling about them. Plus, they still seem pumped up after taking a very, very heavy defeat, and that's indicative of guys who are ready and in the right mentality to win themselves a game. If anything, I think they've just angered the beast. Let's see if that comes to fruition. So, Bob Yule's obviously picking up that Warlock. He's going to have a critical role to play here as he walks almost straight into Rock Lee.
Yeah, I think our good friend Sargon gave us a nice stat saying 100% pickups on Warlock in this tournament. So that's something we can keep in mind. And then on top of that, 100% of the time Fury has played Crystal Maiden. So that's pretty interesting.
How do you feel Crystal Maiden's effects on the game have been so far throughout this tournament? I mean, you've been all over the show.
I feel like Fury has been pretty much the individual showcase in Crystal Maiden majority of the time. And he's had some ups and downs. In the day one, it looked really good. Today, it's a bit tough. So, I mean, we'll see how this. I feel like this matchup is almost even, if you had to ask me, the two teams. But I think that Exdee have the spirit. They're the young chaps. They want to get the victory. I think they have the spirit. So we'll see. Definitely.
So Jappa's going to be up in this top lane all by his lonesome. Not as strange to this kind of laning as he. And he's going to find himself in a rather tough lane, in my opinion. Both Phalanx, Bob Yules, and PSL are there. Do you think this Doxy is going to have a really rough time, especially since Phalanx does have the ability to catch up to a speedy Jappa? It's not going to be the case this time, as it's a level 1 fight there. Comes through the heel. Phalanx getting a few right clicks in. Gone for the greater bash, but I haven't seen a single one yet. RNG. Poor Phalanx. Can't seem to get a single bash off.
Yeah, that's insane. Usually when I see a Spirit Breaker against me, he just bashes me every time. But it's pretty good. He's now missed, so he knows that his chances of getting a bash is pretty high soon. So Jappa will be playing this a little bit careful. But I mean, we've seen like 7 hits now, no bash. But it's actually mid lane, a lot of pressure coming out from the Ricky on to the Queen of Pain. And this is something that we must keep an eye on. They're going to try and create a lot of space here for TKC to find his farm in the early laning stages. But there's a sentry here, and it's going to be highly contested now.
Yeah, look, I think ACG and his brood kind of expected the Riki to be roaming about, especially here into the mid lane as the top lane, by the looks of things. Nope. Bottom lane, apologies. Hunter's actually going to be the first man down. O'Malley walking away with a kill, and he's all on his own here. What the hell happened there?
Well, that shouldn't happen. But again, this is one of the costs that you're going to pay. O'Malley has a hero that's pretty strong. Oh, they're actually looking to turn it around on him here, putting a bit of pressure. He's falling a little bit low, but there's going to be no real kill there. They have a roaming support, and they have an aggressive offlaner against them in the Clockwork, and the Clockwork punishes them here. So O'Malley is probably one of the more scary offlaners to deal with, at least at this tournament, I do believe.
He does have quite a lot of matches under his belt, and if I'm not mistaken, this is one of his better heroes. He does have a proven track record on Clockwork. Now, we were talking about the mid lane matchup, and I was saying that ACG is expecting this kind of silly business from the Riki, and I think that he made his rotation into mid, Riki, as just a let's explore and see if there's a nice little sentry ward here waiting for me. Like that, I know I should bring one the next time I come along. Get a quick D ward.
Yeah, he went for boots. I like this a lot. Usually we see people go for that Orb of Venom. So he's going to actually be able to get 1 or 2 extra hits in.
O'Malley going for the kill again on Hunter. Is it possible? Oh, that final little suck down of the potion saves his life, and I believe that was donated to him by Fury. Supports take a lesson out of this man's book. He just saved his carry's butt.
Yeah, he saved his brother's life there. I mean, that was really, really close. And again,
did you notice that they actually sit on opposite sides of the booth?
Yeah.
Apparently they don't get along.
I doubt that. They pub every day together. But I mean, it's a difficult thing. O'Malley's just now twice brought Hunter once he brought him down completely, and now he's put so much pressure, and again, Hunter's in trouble.
Yep, Hunter's getting cogged up. The tower's doing its part, but unfortunately Hunter's dropping too low. There's nowhere for him to go. Cannot escape O'Malley under the grip of his battery assault, getting that stun in every single 0.75 seconds, and it's an absolute mess for this bottom lane at the moment. They're going to have to bring some sort of backup. Otherwise, Hunter's just going to keep feeding away to the solo O'Malley.
Yeah, this is starting to become very expensive. The Ricky might need to make a rotation there. Jappa, he's getting a something out of lane, but I don't think too much. A charging impact is going to go on to him, yeah, but I don't think it's going to come to too much more from there.
Yeah, they know that Rockley is not all too far away. They're trying that sneaky maneuver, popping the Iron Shell onto the Invis hero and just quietly melting somebody down. But I think this is the wrong skill bracket for such shenanigans. Then again, you never know. Phalanx is actually under the effect of that. He does feel it, and he does throw out the dust. Rockley now under the effect of dust. Jappa's there. He's out of mana. This is going to be a dangerous fight for them to take. Phalanx has to back on out. He's very low on HP as well. Out comes the heal. The Fatal Link is there. The Fatal Bond's not too bad, but it's not going to be enough to get a kill as a result. Damn shame for the boys on PSL's side.
Yeah, that's pretty close. Having the dust on hand, of course, the Spirit Breaker is always going to be carrying the dust. Rockley did a decent job at getting as much damage out as possible, but yeah, not paying off. Haste Rune has been picked up from ACG, so see if he's actually going to make any use of that early on, maybe put some pressure onto TKC.
Speaking of TKC, Hunter did mention that if everything goes wrong for him, he can always rely on this man here in the mid. TKC, who in this case is picking up his Death Prophet to carry him to victory. Not sure he was joking, because I think they're going to have to rely on him quite heavily here, leading the last hits and denies at 29 for 9, and closely followed up by PSL's Anti-Mage on the top lane, 24 to 13.
Yeah, that's the Death Prophet's definitely winning this matchup. This is something that we can definitely emphasize on. 29 last hits to 9 in comparison to the Queen of Pain is sitting on 16,
is this
17
normal?
and 7. It's actually not that bad, but I mean, I would have expected ACG to have a little bit more last hits. I think the Death Prophet's doing a great job, but we must also keep in mind that Ricky did make a rotation, and that also forced the Queen of Pain to fall a little bit behind at a stage. So
do you think ACG is just playing a little bit scared?
Yeah.
It doesn't strike me as the kind of guy to be scared, especially since the charge is coming. ACG doesn't want to give it away with his movements. Make it look like he's still just trying to last it. In comes Phalanx. Is it going to be enough? The charge is well under the tower. The TP's already on the way in, and there's the ping. Call it out. Do not carry on, Phalanx. Keep going back, and he does manage to get out. There's the dust, though. ACG drops very, very low. The heal coming through from Bob Yules in the background is going to keep him alive, but damn, that was close. Rockley still dropping low. Is he going to get caught? Yes, he is. Phalanx goes all the way around and buys himself an extra kill. That's going to put the scoreboard at 3-0 in the favor of APG.
Yeah, again, just outmaneuvering their opponents. That's the most important thing to take from this. APG move around really well together and have had successful rotations, whereas the Ricky hasn't really shown that much success. Oh,
are you serious? He does go in. ACG to follow up. So far, so good. TKC Dota dropping low, but first goes down. Phalanx on the sidelines. O'Malley comes in from nowhere and manages to get a good hook shot and follows it up with the flated Philem Shemorph. ACG carried on going on to Fury in the background. Didn't quite have enough to kill him, and Rockley makes an appearance, and that's the call back. It's going to put the scoreline 4-1, and things are definitely still rolling the way of APG here. Finally having taken down what was supposed to be the plan B for the side of Exdee in the form of the Death Prophet, it's now looking rather bleak indeed, and only 6 minutes 30 in, we've got 5 kills on the deck.
Well, O'Malley is level 6 ahead of majority of the people in this game. He's just had such a fantastic laning stage.
Yeah.
He's done so well. That rotation there is really showing that APG have a significant lead. It might not show in the net worth right now, but XP, O'Malley has definitely just crushed his lane in a sense, and Hunter, he's under a lot of pressure here. He's under the cosh, if I may.
Hunter's Farm, he's now taken up the second position here. Well, second, third is right next to PSL. So he is managing to keep up nonetheless. I don't know what's going on with PSL at the top lane. He's had a relatively, actually, I take that back, not not that quiet a lane. He has been dealing with the Darkseer Iron Shell, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's always a difficult thing, but he got 2 points up into his Spell Shield, so it takes a little bit less damage from the Iron Shell as other melee heroes would. So he's going to slowly start to come back with that.
Charge is good towards the mid lane. Sorry, ACG actually whacking out a load of damage. There's the ulti. It's good enough. But TKC Dota's got another little Spirit Siphon going. Keeps him alive. Allows him to turn around, get a counter kill. Phalanx drops halfway down the HP pile. And unfortunately, TKC manages to limp his way out of there with the final tick wearing off from the Shadow Strike of that Queen of Pain. He survives to fight another day. What a fight. He managed to turn it around almost entirely on his own. Now Rock Lee making an appearance, and Phalanx possibly sticking around where he shouldn't be. The slow is intense. Down he goes, doesn't get the chance to counter charge, and that is the end of him. TKC Dota, though, ACG comes back in, trying to get that final kill onto TKC. It's not going to be enough. Rock Lee getting a mischance there on his... No! ACG finishing him off with the final scream of pain for that extra 225 damage onto Rock Lee.
Yeah, and the Fatal Bond's just doing so much work there. Bob Yules, good rotation by him as well into the mid lane. So, yeah, it's still a good advantage here for APG. They're still looking good. Most of these trades are going their way. The only thing, Jappa's sort of putting a decent amount of pressure onto PSL, but he's now caught up with the last hits. If we look over there, he's now on 47. So tying up with Hunter, but we must keep in mind, PSL hasn't died. And whereas on the other hand, Hunter has been under a lot of pressure.
Well, that's just the nature of an anti-mage. Very, very difficult to take down if you don't lock him down for a good long, long time. He's already reached that stage of farm with, of course, with the Ring of Health that he can just kind of mill around in lane. If he does need to heal up, he can just back off a little bit. So it does help with the harassment of the Iron Shell coming out there. He should be just A-okay as long as he doesn't get suddenly ganked. That's really all they need to worry about there, the side of ACG and company. TKC Dota, in the meantime, he would like to pick up a few more levels here. And noticeably, he has not picked up his Exorcism yet. That's because the call isn't quite yet to push. He does need to get these high levels in Crypt Swarm, high levels in Spirit Siphon to be a bit of a danger to this mid lane here.
Yeah, having high level in the Spirit Siphon is really important for him in this mid lane, as there's going to be constant pressure. Spirit Breaker could be charging in. The more charges of that he has up.
Towards the top lane. Sorry, O'Malley making it happen yet again, and it looks like Jappa's going to hit the deck before Phalanx even makes it there with a charge. At very least, he did manage to make it there for the experience.
Yeah, and
He's
O'Malley...
there for some photos.
Yeah, for sure. O'Malley is just dominating at the stage of the game. I mean, he's made great rotations. He dominated his lane. He's 3-0-1 already, and he's finding tremendous amount of farm. If we switch over to the net worths, like as you can see there, TKC is doing well, but the Clockwork is really neck and neck with the Juggernaut.
Yeah, which is incredible since, I mean, this is your offlaner. He's not supposed to be doing all that well. Nonetheless, good for him. He has, Rock Lee is now applying a fair amount of pressure here towards the mid lane. ACG saying, well, you know what, I've kind of had enough of this. They keep dewarding each other here. They really need to come up with some sort of solution here. I kind of feel like Riki's a free kill, just roaming around. If you know more or less where he's going to be, you could capitalize on the fact that his HP pool is only 720. Of course, this is an incredibly experienced hands here in the form of Rock Lee, and he's been playing it pretty damn well, if you ask me.
Well, keep an eye on O'Malley here. He's smoked up around the back, and he's going to look for hookshot. He's going to actually find Fury.
Nice little team fight breaks out. That's TKC Dota who's under attack, but O'Malley's going to get Fury on the sidelines first. Beautiful little movement there. Phalanx now in a spot of trouble. Rock Lee going for the chase, as is Jappa. Phalanx is going to hit the deck. In the meantime, in the front lines, O'Malley gets ultied by Hunter, and Hunter finally gets his revenge. He finally gets to burn him into the dust whence he came. Beautifully done, and they managed to walk away with at very least the turnaround.
Yeah, great turnaround by them. Good rotations came in very quickly, and I believe we're going to go over to a quick replay here and see that again.
Yep, so O'Malley jumps on in, actually finds Fury. I think he was expecting to find something else. Then suddenly TKC Dota gets knocked out, but look at that reinitiation there. I think all the credit there going to Jappa, who made a very sudden appearance.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. I believe that O'Malley will be a bit disappointed in the fact that he got Fury instead of the DP. If he managed to get Death Prophet, that fight could have gone completely different. But his hookshot was used up on Fury. They got that kill, but well turnaround and good rotations from the side of Exdee.
In the interim, those of you who are a little more astute than others will notice that the Queen of Pain hit the deck there, and that was just quite simply sticking around a little bit too long. Trying to defend a tower that was basically undefendable since all 5 of the side of Exdee were there. Basically donated a kill, I feel. But, you know, mistakes happen. We're all human.
Yeah, we must actually look at this again. I mean, O'Malley's made some big plays, but Exdee are farming pretty well. You got a huge amount of farm over onto the Death Prophet, and Hunter somehow has managed to find his way back into this game. He hasn't sort of tilted at all. He's just managing to come back in pretty well. He's even very close to that anti-mage at the current stage, who's been uncontested largely.
But Anti-Mage did not have the benefit of the additional kills and all that good little crunchy stuff in between that's been happening elsewhere on the map. Still, so far so good. 6-8, 13 minutes in. And this couldn't be more action-packed if I tried. This is obviously a best of one, so both teams are not going to look to let it go quite so easily. PSL trying to blink out of trouble as I think he feels something between his butt cheeks, and that little something is called TKC Dota in the form of the Death Prophet. Rockley is there as well, and I don't think they can really do much off this.
Yeah, so that was a lot of time wasted there for XD, and they might even lose an objective here as PSL did make his way down to the bot lane. O'Malley here at the same time. So they might try and look for a trade on at least tier 1 for tier 1. And yeah, this is pretty decent. I feel XD, they'll be happy with this. They're going to be able to take over the jungle very quickly here. PSL, he'll be happy to get out of there alive.
Yeah, not only happy to get out of there alive, but he's also conquering him for himself. Another corner of the map, wrestling some map control away from the hands of Jappa and company. They're going to do the same. But net worth is pretty much going to stay more or less where it was before this entire engagement began.
Yeah, only it's actually right down the middle. Yeah. The net worth is not really divided by too much of a gap, so it's pretty much just an even trade on all sides. So yeah, nothing really much of that. As long as they can keep a good eye on where O'Malley is at all times, because he's been the bane of their existence.
Right.
They are looking for tier 2 though.
Yeah, this is where the draft of the boys accompanying TKC Dota really comes to the fore. They do have a fair amount of push, and they're going to use it to full advantage, take down themselves a nice tier 2 tower in the top lane. In the interim, chipping away at a tier 1 tower here in the mid. I think the idea being, it's okay, we don't mind giving away the map control on the top. We can still make use of things there. O'Malley, though, he does get scouted out. He's going to get pulled back into the smoke, and he's dead before he knows what to say. What, Bob, my uncle? It's all over from there on in. In the interim, though, Fury walks away with the kill. He's going to be very happy with that, popping himself a nice little 221 gold in his pocket.
Yeah, but now we got to keep a wary eye on Anti-Mage. He's almost got his Battle Fury up. Pretty decent Simon considering he was going up against a Darkseer. So once he does have that up, his farm is just going to escalate dramatically from there.
I just saw ACG just completely ignore Fury. Fury completely ignore the Snowman builder. It's incredible. Okay, all right. Nobody wants to do or say anything about it, but a career snipe could have gone wrong here. It doesn't, fortunately, as Rock Lee manages to get his ulti off, but it doesn't matter. He is going to get cornered and finally taken down. That must feel so damn satisfying for Phalanx, finally walking away with his kill.
Yeah, Phalanx, he definitely knows how a Ricky's going to be moving around the map. He's also a big Ricky bounty player,
just as dirty, isn't he?
He's really good in those situations. So, yeah, precisely. He's just one of those players. So he knows exactly where to be, and great success there by him.
Yeah, fantastic. Would have been quite tragic if the courier did go down. It's going to disable basically any items on their way for quite some time and force a lot of annoyance out of the side of Phalanx and company. In the interim, though, 9 for 7. Net worth still looking dead even. Neither side really willing to give this up by any means. Do you think a gem is a viable option here? Oh, ACG managing to spot out Rock Lee, who actually disappears in the face of APG. And now Bob Yules, Phalanx, and ACG stuck up here down in this bottom lane with no tower to push on the tier 1 side.
Yeah, I mean, again, Phalanx just knows exactly where that Ricky is going to be. It seems that way. It's just like spider senses. And they caught him out once again. So really, really good for them. Is
Gem an option here? Honestly.
Gem
I mean, people always argue to me in pubbies, no, Gem yes, Gem no, Gem, we'll lose all the vision if we lose the Gem, so on and so forth. Is that something that should be running through their heads?
I don't think they should be worried about it. I think Gem is good. I think Gem's great. They got a very tanky support in the form of Phalanx, who can survive. They've also got pretty mobile cores in the anti-mage as well as the Queen of Pain, so they can keep a Gem on hand. I think it's not a bad idea. They just want to make sure they get at least items so that they don't forfeit stats or peaks before they get that Gem.
Yeah, certainly. Take a look here. Fury getting a little bit of dewarding going. That's a dangerous deward, as I'm sure he can feel. ACG is not too far away. Phalanx is going in for the charge. Fury now in a huge amount of trouble. And it looks like he's going to be the next man down. Yes, he will be. O'Malley walking away with yet another kill. Rock Lee trying to do what he can on the sidelines. Towards the top, though. TKC Dota taking a world of damage from himself. Beautiful Blade Mail is going to secure that. Not going to be enough to kill him. And O'Malley does hit the deck before he gets a chance to do anything. Phalanx trying to charge his way out of trouble. Going to bump into some creeps. But that is just about it. He will be A-okay. Ultimately, it's a 1-for-1 trade. But I kind of feel like Exdee won that one.
Yeah, Exdee will be happy with this, and they got Exism very close to a tier 1 tower.
Did you see that Blade Mail?
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah. That's pretty insane. So now the tier 1 tower to fall. Exism down. They got a little bit of damage with it, but they're surely going to find this one. Healing Ward was also utilized. So, but again, I don't see any sort of contest here. TKCs came in there like a mork, and just like this woman just completely out of control, throwing herself at the enemies and just demolishing them. There.
Bob Yules in the spot of trouble. Fury and Rock Lee trying to make a move here. They do manage to take him down. Rock Lee nicely done there with a nice little cheeky kill. Oh, Rock Lee jumping on in, but Fury is already a dead boy burger. There's nothing left for him to do. ACG now trying to make an escape after dealing a lot of damage in the meantime. PSL comes in, picks up not one but 2 kills in one foul swoop, and it's followed up with a final kill onto Jappa from ACG.
Oh man, that's an absolute disaster there for XD. They had a good fight, now they're extended.
Applause.
Yeah, there we go. They got some good wards down, but if you look, it's pretty much mirror image of their opponents. They got decent wards down, but I believe we do have a replay of that fight.
Right, started out a little bit tricky. You started out as a pick-off and then became this massive team fight. Taking a look at that Queen of Pain, trying to make an escape. You watch the ulti popping out there from the bottom. Unfortunately, we did miss it in the screen, but there it is. PSL won that fight, and that, I think, is the first time PSL really made a heavy effort into a team fight. And that means that he's ready to rock and roll and happy to take a fight. And does make sense, given Yasha and Battle Fury are both up and online. He's been farming away at a rate of knots, sitting at the top of the net worth 10 grand.
At the shrine there, Jappa almost in some trouble. They're going to pop the shrine and they'll be able to escape safely all the side of APG. So pretty lucky there. That could have gone poorly for Jappa. Rotations came in pretty quickly though, but I weren't able to make much of that. But I think the biggest story here is PSL is just farming up an absolute storm.
Yeah, but I think he's bitten off a bit more than he can chew, maybe? No, he does manage to get on out. And, yeah, people are searching places where he isn't at the moment. Manages to TP out cheekily, and that will be the end of that. In the interim, Phalanx and Hunter say hello to each other. They wave each other goodbye in the mid lane. Okay, this is your farm, this is mine. Have a nice day. I'll see you later.
Yeah, one of those false truces. We fine for now. Don't hurt me, I don't hurt you.
I know you want items, I want items. Let's just agree to disagree.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, this is now Manchester complete on the anti-mage. This is very, very scary, as he's going to be able to just destroy all the supports. Actually, big smoke play coming up here. They find O'Malley. He's in trouble. He should go down here. I don't imagine he's going to survive this one.
All he can really do is Blade Mail and try deal as much damage as he can back to the enemy. Unfortunately, the mechanism is up, meaning there's not much damage in the end. It does put it on cooldown, so it buys them a little bit of time if they want to make a counter rotation. Not really going to happen as yet another smoke comes out. That is some cheeky play here. Maybe hoping that they won't expect a second one straight off the bat. Then again, the side of Bob Yules and company are very, very, very blind, and they're actually going to get caught out because of it. Down he goes. It's yet another pick-off. It's a double smoke rotation, and they get 2 kills for it. It couldn't have gone better. Net worth is now swinging 3.2 in the favor of TKC Dota and company. 12 for 15, 21 minutes in. Objectives are starting to fall here. He's going to have to come up with some plan. Anti-Mage, is he going to be enough?
Yeah, they got Exorcism now. They could even look for a tier 2 tower here. They've made really good movements, has Exdee here. Going for a double smoke like that worked out very well for them. There we go. Exorcism going to be popped now. And O'Malley, he's going to potentially look for a hook shot. He does have that off cooldown. Oh, there we go. As he throws it up.
Yep, TKC Dota drops very low and then immediately heals back up. It's not going to be enough though. Down come the rocks. TKC Dota down. O'Malley down. Phalanx down. This fight is absolutely messy. Rocky Lee going to get hit down. He doesn't have enough escape to get on out of there. Bob Yules drops low but manages to get out into the back lines. Jappa now trying to make a hasty escape out of mana, and immediately PSL helps himself. That is the end of that, and the fight is won by APG.
Yeah, there we go. Great rock being dropped there. And really good rock. We do have a replay of that. And yeah, huge rock. The vacuum was really good. Set it up quite nicely, but the rock, just that counter initiation. And they were quickly able to turn that one around. And Hunter did a decent amount of damage, then realized, okay, PSL's here. Let's go. And Jappa, he had to sacrifice himself here really for his team to escape safely. And the tier 2 tower still standing, half HP. Good defense from APG.
Excellent defense. And I think that was the first rock of the game. Am I not mistaken?
Yeah, I think you are correct.
Courier almost went down here. ACG angry that the Courier was about to get picked off. Just throws him a Shadow Strike and that's the end of it. Rock Lee, possibly panicking, throws down a Sentry Ward, says, no, please, tell me this is the true side.
Yeah, that was definitely a bit of a tight situation there. If they did have vision on him, he was certainly dead. But there are people in his general vicinity who maybe turn things around. Mech is up on Darkseer. And, I mean, we look on his opponents. Still, the Clockwork is big. Oh, he actually has completed this Baculus of an item, the 4-staff.
Yep, it's an absolute gigantic item for O'Malley here. As you can see, he does tend to initiate, as we've seen in the replays, and then has to get kind of stuck up in his own cogs. It would be great for him to get on out and help himself to the rest of the team as well. He's great as a disruptive force. Just thanks to him being a Clockwork. It's really fantastic. And O'Malley chasing dragons here in the form of Riki's illusion.
Yeah, they're all hunting it down, actually. They believe it. Okay, I think they've given up on that. I think they're sure it's an illusion now. But it's going to do some good scouting. They know where PSL is. And nice 18 gold there for Phalanx. A long run for 18 gold. But he will manage to find that one. So the Riki is just going to press M move on the hero and just keep a good eye on them so that they know what their opponents are up to.
Nice little mobile wards. I do love being able to do that. Then again, I don't play Riki all that often, so it's a little strange to see for me. Nonetheless, Phalanx, let's talk about his item progression. He's got a blade mail of his own. It sounds like to me that the strategy here for APG is we don't do that much damage just yet, but we can reflect it.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Another big smoke here coming out from Exdee, so maybe going to the Roche pitch here. They have Exorcism. They can do this. Yeah. And this might catch them off guard. APG have smoked up themselves looking in the jungle. There's a great opportunity here for Exdee to get some sort of a lead here.
And of course, with Rock Lee keeping a keen eye out onto the outfield here, they'll know if anyone's coming. They'll realize nobody's coming, and that is a free Roshan, if ever I've seen one. Aegis to drop. Aegis sits on Hunter, no surprise. He's going to be looking for a push off of this.
Oh, bot lane.
Oh dear, bot lane. Yep, it looks like, TKC Dota trying to capitalize on his ulti actually ends up feeding away a life by the looks of things. Then again, there was no way for them to know as they did smoke on up into that bush, so maybe an innocent mistake, expecting just creeps and receiving a whole lot more. PSL doesn't seem to be afraid of the fact that the Aegis is down on Hunter, and they keep pushing on. Hunter's still in the mid lane. He continues to push, trying to apply counter pressure, but I think he has to come back. There he comes, and as soon as he does, immediately the whole team goes on in.
Yeah, poor situation there for Exdee. They managed to get an Aegis, but TKC TP'd in a little bit too aggressively, got caught out, got punished, and they've taken a huge amount of chip damage on their high ground here. That tier 3 tower is now on half HP.
Yeah, but whilst on the other side of the coin, where they were pushing, still A-OK without even barely a scratch as that tier 3 tower in the mid lane on the Dire side. So maybe not the very best of trades, but at very least they got something.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all right. It's not. I mean, you got Aegis. You want to take an advantageous situation.
You managed to weave in all those other big words. Advantageous, the one you use almost all the time. You struggle. Oh dear. Hunter's actually going to get spotted out here. PSL's going to have to get on out as the smoke's already been popped, actually. So Rockley maybe a little bit too soon. No, there's the counter initiation. This guy does have Aegis. I'm not sure O'Malley wants to take a piece of this. And he opts not to. There's the smoke again. It's kind of like, I kind of feel like Rockley's just a terrorist at this point. Every time there's a maneuver, boom, out comes the smoke. And you're suddenly blind and you don't want to move on. Oh no, Phalanx. What happened there, my friend?
Yeah, poor Phalanx. All he wants to do is
charge.
Yeah, he just wants to kill this little mantis shrimp of a hero. This Ricky is always trying to hunt him out, seeking him like a homing missile. But unlucky, he's in a poor position this time himself, so he gets punished. And again, I can't touch on the Ricky is still a problem. He hasn't had a great early laning stages, which you do want from your Ricky, but he's still a problem for the opposition. You make a very good point there. Yep. They want to try and evade him. Mantis is not going to help you from the silence. So yeah, it's a really good point you make there.
Yeah. So talk to me about the importance here of Bob Yules. Usually we like to see Warlocks that catch themselves a little bit of farm. Obviously in this particular lineup, he's doing all of the supporting for the most part. And it's a very, very difficult and expensive job by the looks of things because he's still relatively dirt poor. Does have a gem though. They are going to try and make a push. There he comes in. The rock has dropped. The cogs are there. Oh no, Rockley and the crew are in serious trouble here. Japper's now actually standing strong. Oh dear. Phalanx immediately gets popped. There's absolutely no damage on the side there. In comes PSL trying to turn things around. Hunter now dropping low. He does still have the Aegis, so he can afford to go down. But the right clicks are coming through thick and fast. Unfortunately, that's it. There goes the Aegis. It's now time to fight him for the second time. He does have the spin. Is it going to be enough? Oh, the bash! What the hell? Unlucky. Hunter's going to go not down, but once, but twice. Unfortunately for him, that's a 4-kill streak going the way of ACG.
Oh man, that was just so unlucky. The first time we see the basher, and bam, he gets one on Hunter as he tries to spin TP out, and
glorious RNG.
Yeah, the poor chap, That was very unfortunate. So they've got. This is now starting to look more and more like APG are in a comfortable position. 20,000 net worth on Anti-Mage. He's doing a glorious job at just staying ahead. He's got the basher. He's got an AC as well. Whoop.
Beautiful spot out by O'Malley and the crew. Phalanx setting it all up with the charge vision, and O'Malley sinking it with the hook shot. No cogs required, especially since I've seen it more than once. Phalanx charging into cogs and actually knocking the opponent out of the cogs. It's a cute combo, but it does mean that you do let him free.
Yeah, so that's a very good point. But if you time it well, it can really pay off. Good vision. It's another thing that the Spirit Breaker does provide is this constant vision. You know, plus or minus where the Ricky is, and once he does hit him, you can easily just smoke, dust, and you can catch him out. So Tier 2 tower should fall here, and APG just constantly finding objective after objective.
And talking of objectives, 10.3 net worth in the favor of APG.
Yeah, and
quite significant. In the meantime, though, it looks like O'Malley has decided to just throw himself to the wolves. I'm not sure if you guys could hear it, but I could hear music in the background there.
Oh, beautiful. Best production crew so far.
Excellent.
For sure. But yeah, I mean, O'Malley going down again. He had a great start, but he's dying quite a lot. He's still 7 and 6, so he's not in a tough position, and he's going for an Aghanim Scepter here, so that's going to mean he's going to have a low cooldown and have a massive impact. But he's still got a way to go, about 2,000 gold before he gets there. So seems like Hunter and them, they haven't given up. They're looking to put a bit of pressure here in the mid lane, and no real response from APG while that clock works down. But they're not going to be able to do much more.
Yeah, it's difficult to make maneuvers once you're in that kind of a rock and a hard place situation. What do you think the side of Exdee are looking for at this point? I mean, Hunter's only going to be able to carry so much. That anti-major's getting truly, truly large. 23,000 net worth. Absolute leagues ahead. The highest net worth, TKC Dota. It's gigantic at this stage. I mean, it's just been growing and growing and growing. But now I'm not sure if they actually have the stones to take him on.
Yeah, he's going at an average of 730 GPM per. So that's a. I need to say GPM per minute. It's getting late. But Hunter in a little bit deep here, but the anti-major. You know what? The creep are worth more than trying to get that kill. So
it's another one of those. You farm, I farm. Just leave each other alone for now. Our teams are not here. Neither of us are interested.
Yeah, sort of the AFK farming. Whoa.
O'Malley goes in for the hook, but little does he know, Jappa's not too far away. TKC Dota goes on in. Oh, beautiful initiation there. The Rock is there to follow as well. Jappa now in a spot of trouble. In comes the shout from ACG. It is going to catch not one but two. TKC Dota in a spot of trouble manages to suckle his health back from Phalanx. Phalanx is absolutely miserable about this. In comes O'Malley with a fantastic cog, breaks up the tether, and that's good enough. Fury now going to drop low on the sidelines. He's going to be mauled down by Bob there. And in the front lines, poor little Death Prophet is going to hit the death she's always seeked. And now APG go for the push onto the high ground, onto the bottom here. This is their chance to break high ground, and they certainly deserve it with 11,000 net worth.
Yeah, at the same time, Anti-Fun's pushing out the other lane, so they got a lot of work ahead of them here. They've lost the tier 3. That means shrines are available to get taken. But at the same time, PSL, look what he's doing to the top racks. He's actually taking that, so they in two minds as to where
Rock in a hard place. Rock in a hard place yet again towards the bottom. They're trying to fight them off. It's not going to be enough towards the top lane. Radiant top and melee and ranged are down. That's basically going to sum up the game. Rock in a hard place this whole game long.
Yeah, absolutely. And O'Malley, he's in trouble. He'll
miserable death. I still think he's going to be happy with the outcome of that. A nice little split push solution. Buys himself not one racks, but also a tier 3 bottom. Very, very valuable as it buys them the ability to take on down the shrines here, as PSL is doing, buying themselves an extra 125 gold.
Yeah, and this is
huge.
This is looking dire right now for Exdee. They're in a really tight spot.
You know, I was asking the question before, but with 17,000 net worth difference, buybacks used, top net worth is still anti-match, 26,000 bucks.
So the net worth difference is the entire net worth of ACG. That's a tremendous amount.
Wow. Oh, well, nonetheless, we move on. So Phalanx scouting around, maybe looking for a little bit of trouble, might bite off more than he can chew. In the interim, though, ACG also to follow up behind him. Okay, he's no longer alone, joined by PSL. They know that there's something up there. There you go. Finally getting themselves the D-ward, and the map control is quickly but surely slipping from the side of Exdee. Jappa trying to do what he can. But there's only so much a Darkseer with just GG Boots and Blink can really do.
Yeah, I don't think we can emphasize enough how this is a best of one. Exdee need to win this. It looks impossible, but they are going to keep on fighting. I know these guys will just keep on trying. These guys
are bulldogs. They will never give up.
Yeah, so, I mean...
Maybe they get it from Reddit.
Definitely.
I mean, Ridditz is not the kind of guy to rid up. Give up.
It's late. It's late, man.
It is late.
But, yeah, I agree. I think you're right there. But Roshan, now for grabs for PSL. He's beating away at that and...
Yep, so Roshan now dropping quite damn low, and that's going to be free. I don't think there's anything that the side of Exdee can really do to contest it. It's... Dead Boy Burger. There we go. I was trying and waiting for it. They kind of slowed down their attacks. I think they were just going to juke me, and they kind of succeeded. O'Malley desperately trying to go in. Guys, I want to hook. Guys, I want to hook. Guys, I want to hook. Come on, hurry up. And unfortunately, no one's there to follow up. It takes a hell of a lot of discipline to say, I've got the perfect hook, but I mustn't do it because my friends are not here. So, well played to O'Malley for not just YOLO and jumping on in.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is
We've
going to...
seen that mistake happen so many times, haven't we?
Yeah.
I know I do it all the time.
I can't tell you how many times that happens to me, man.
Oh, are you? Okay, we'll leave it alone then.
But I mean, I think this is going to be the final stand. This is like the last samurai. You know, there's a huge army running at you, and you're just standing there, and they're going to fight to the death. It might not be very promising, but they're not going to give up.
Well, unfortunately, I don't think APG is going to allow them to do that. I think APG is going to go for the I am not a samurai, I don't care, and actually they're going to charge on out and go take the fight to them. O'Malley getting a wonderful juke there from the LT. ACG is going to take down Fury in the front lines though. Jappa still in a spot of trouble towards the front lines. He's going to go down, does manage to get the walls off before he goes, and it's not enough though. Phalanx go take down TKC Dota. Fury hits the deck, and that is it. It's all done and dusted. Dearly, dearly me, 2 down for this ugly, ugly side, and I think there's not much that they can do left. Towards the front. Are they still hunting O'Malley? O'Malley manages to get on out. Phalanx still dropping low. Hunter doesn't give a damn that his base is being taken. He wants Phalanx. He doesn't care. I want a piece of this Phalanx, man. I want to make sure he feels my blade between his cheeks before this game ends. And eventually they're going to come on back and decide, oh wait, I have no base left.
Oh, he's actually in trouble now.
And actually walks into a huge pile of it. And for Jappa, managing to get out of dodge just in time. Rockley now in a spot of trouble. He's carrying a gem as well, so they will be able to see him. ACG still tanking it. He's going to manage. Rockley getting a nice little blink strike out of trouble. And the rack still stands in the mid lane. PSL still full HP. Happy to carry on. Right clicking. Still has his ulti available. Does get silenced up. Hunter jumps on in, trying to do what he can. Oh, the bash is beautiful to Rockley. He manages to get away with that mischance. Unbelievable. Hunter in the meantime going for the spin damage. It's not going to be enough to take down the anti-mage. He's not all that afraid either. Out comes the Abyssal Blade. No mana left onto Hunter. Phalanx jumps on in. There's the ulti. He's going to push Hunter back. O'Malley's got the cogs. Perfect. This fight is going on forever. God damn, I love my job. And Hunter gets nailed down. That's the end of it. He's going to end up buying back, though. O'Malley's still going into the front lines. Jappa hitting the deck to Phalanx. And the mid lane is down. That's it. Finished. Go home, boys. Hunter's trying his best, but I don't think it's going to be enough. TKC is going to hit the deck next. And Hunter's trying to feed away as best he can, but he will not. He's trying desperately to find himself that final kill. Oh my word, they're fountain diving, and Hunter's actually going to hit the deck. They've done it. Oh my goodness, I cannot find the words.
Yeah, so we're going to get a quick replay of that.
Sad trombone indeed.
Oh man, and this fight was just, they just gonna fountain dive. Hunter's like, oh, we're not giving up. We haven't called GG yet. And they just dive him underneath the fountain, hook shot in there. And they don't care. It takes them a while to kill him, but they just don't even die inside there. That's just insane. Still yet to call GG, in fact. And I mean, I was watching a really good battle. Oh, poor Fury.
Yeah.
It's a murder.
Yeah, it's as they spawn, they step out and boom, down they go. Not sure if they're tilting. I just think they're desperately trying to give them a black eye. And GG surely must be called. PSL cheekily dropping all his items, showing everyone this is what I got, and this is what I came for. Down goes your ancient, and fare thee well, my friends. Aperture Gaming goes forth, and we wave a damn good goodbye to the boys of Exdee. So what a shame to see them go, but we love to see them leave apparently on games like this.
Yeah, what a game! What a brilliant game, and good spirit here as well. And Fury is saying, well done to the Warlock. I think the Warlock pick here was huge. Excellent. He kept on dropping the Rock, and the Rock often had a fight with John Cena. You know, Ricky, you can't see me, and that was
his name is John Cena.
Yeah, it was a mania fight there. So that was interesting. I like to see that, and
guys, just look at those images. Look at those images in the box. They're still gloriously happy about all this. They're enjoying every last second. They're still smiling, and that is. I mean, that there's nothing happier than seeing a losing team still happy. Sure, there's a few mixed feelings, but they're okay with it. Look at that. Look at those faces. I love them.
Yeah, I think Ridis is there reassuring them. Don't worry, guys. You did your best. You made it all the way here. You guys
and we are certainly proud of them.
Yeah, you've been a real competitor. They knocked their opponents yesterday down to the lower bracket. They managed to get to the best of 3 today. Unfortunately, they got knocked down, and they got a really hard game in APG, and they took a tumble. And best of ones could go any way, but APG they said this yesterday. They said we are the lower bracket specialists, and we expect to see more of that.
And well, they've certainly proved it here today. Best of ones or everything, all or nothing on the line, and it seems that they perform at their best when they do so. Nonetheless, I'm pretty sure they didn't expect things to go quite that well.
Yeah, I can agree. I think APG did a great job with their draft. They got a Warlock. I think that's pretty much the tale of this. As soon as you get a Warlock, you're pretty much in a very comfortable position when the game's on. So you can see the stats are up, and look at that net worth graphs. They did well. They did well 20 minutes in. It's even, and then all of a sudden a landslide.
Yeah, the big guy really to keep a huge eye on is PSL. Look at that by comparison to absolutely everybody else. Yeah. And I think that's what really it led the charge for the side of Aperture Gaming. That net worth, there's very little you can do once there's such a huge net worth gap.
Yeah, a very mobile bunch was APG, and they were just able to consume farm very quickly. And of course, like you say, Anti-Mage is just that hero. He just consumes.
But Anti-Mage can only really get there thanks to his supports. And this time I actually feel that this man right here, O'Malley, he's the guy. He's the guy that APG have to thank for this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe we have the guys on the panel here with us.
Hello, friends.
Hello,
I mean, what a best of one, really. I'm sad to see Exdee go, but glad to see APG still that top spot. How do you guys feel about that?
I kind of feel like we need to have
Let Wilson sing.
Why does Wilson need to sing suddenly?
I do think Wilson should sing. A duet with Reigns, perhaps?
I like it.
But
maybe
also,
If Wilson's okay with it, sure, we can sing Frozen. Well, why did I think of Frozen?
I have
Maybe
no
let
idea.
it go.
Probably because it was playing in our ears.
Really? I mean,
That was super weird.
surely no one from
No one heard
from
that.
PS Gaming Studios would understand the reference.
Yeah.
Well, nonetheless,
It wasn't us.
Nonetheless, boys, we leave it all up to you. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an absolute pleasure to be back in this driving seat. Albert, take it away. Good night from myself, Wilson, and Scarpy.
Good night, Wilson and Scarpy. Yeah, I gotta love the enthusiasm on that one. It's just, I gotta say, it's a great cast as well. We don't often bring up.
No, we haven't been privileged to the Wilson Triple XL in a while, and it was good to hear him back in the driving seat. So it was awesome to hear him.
Yeah, and we can say that the win rates of APG, well, when Wilson is casting, is 100%. One-on-one, yeah.
Sargon stats.
Sorry, I got distracted by the interesting panel name.
What did it say?
The beard of esports.
Oh, nice. I like
yeah.
it. That's good.
So, I mean, look, that was a fantastic game. I think that if Exdee were going to go out, they're probably happy for it to be a game like that and not,
You still feel sad, though.
Yeah, you got to feel for them, but also I think they're going to be around for a long time. As we've spoken about, this is a very young team. And it would not surprise me in the slightest if there comes a day where we have to be burdened with watching Ridditz and his team lift a Masters trophy one day. Who knows?
Wow.
Wilson said 2019 was the year of Mythic, maybe 2018 is the year of Exdee. But yeah, we say goodbye to them. Of course, this does mean that APG keep the hopes alive. They're going to have a pretty tough road ahead because we are starting to get left with some pretty mean competitors.
Yeah.
But what do you gentlemen think that APG can particularly take out of this game to help them drive forward?
I think they started off really slowly. In the beginning of the game, they kept the kills really even. I think they let Exdee take advantage of getting the kills off the support especially. We could see how underwhelming the Warlock pick was. Even though he's really popular in this meta, he's been banned most of the time because of his threat. We were talking during the game that all his skills has a very big role in team fights, and they can affect the enemy team really well. So I think it's not like it was a bad pick or anything. I just think that the Exdee team took his deaths really well often, and then from then it's just. But otherwise, it evens it out with the anti-mage getting so many kills and farming up so well.
Well, I mean, I think it finished off with PSL sitting on 8-0. Pretty much just got as much farm on the map as he could. And APG creating the amount of space that he needed to actually get the farm that was needed to actually then eventually say, right, well, boys, I'm ready to rock up to the party, and kind of devastated the side of Exdee. And further, no big punishment with the Doxia pickup either. I mean, we were talking about it when we were actually watching the game, that with the cogs, I mean, Devon actually said it best. Your cogs, my cogs, everybody's cogs with the vacuum there. And still, I mean, APG walked with their heads held high after those big team fights.
Yeah, I mean, and like I guess one of the big things as well for me about this whole matchup is that it's also kind of for APG, it's a good win that also sort of boosts their sort of momentum as well. So it's not just the fact that they've played well and they've managed to get some sort of interesting team fights out of it. Team fight experience, I'd say, because there were some interesting ones. But they've also got themselves into a position where they're moving forward into this tournament, and they've got to be feeling like a bit of wind in their sails. But fortunately, we'll get to see some more of APG, and we'll say our last goodbye to Exdee for now. But of course, we do have one more match coming up this evening, and of course that will be Pulse versus Energy. That sounds pretty scary, lads. I'm not going to lie, Energy can't be a happy camp right now.
They can't be, but they're probably also super upset against the loss against WRG. They took game 1 off WRG, surprising everyone that's here at the venue. That Energy took game 1. WRG fought back in the second game and then convincingly took out Energy in the third game. And I mean, it's got to be really scary for Pulse to see how Energy actually went up against WRG, knowing that they are one of the strongest teams on the scene at the moment, and still going toe to toe. And second game was really close, and Pulse has got to be afraid coming into this best of one as well.
Yeah, Pulse should be quite afraid. Energy's been really strong in this tournament, but WRG definitely showed that they are the strongest team. And while knocking Energy down to lowest brackets, I don't think Energy should be. I think they're quite comfortable with this matchup, thinking that Pulse struggled quite a bit against Veneration.
Yeah, I think it was.
No, they knocked out Veneration for the best of one, right? That's how they pulled through the next round. Yeah. So by the standard that they played against Veneration, I don't think Energy should be too worried about this matchup. But also, no victory is certain, so they got to prepare to do what they do.
They're going to have to battle. They're going to have to gauntlet. They're going to have to slug it out. But I think considering how Energy did against WRG, feeling confident, knowing that they can go against the best, and Pulse may be really scared about this matchup coming up, considering on how the game with WRG went. I mean, Energy are looking really good at the moment. We've said it once, we've said it twice, that Energy struggled at the beginning part of the year, but all of a sudden they took their energy bars, and all of a sudden it's like a completely different team.
And I mean, we say this, and you have to add one very, very important little tangent to that, or caveat to that, rather. And that's the fact that these guys have one opportunity. You get that bad draft, that you get that unfortunate bit of RNG against you, whatever it might be. You take a little bit too long to secure that victory condition, whatever it could be, right? And you're out, even if you're NG, regardless how good you might be. It's cheers and goodbye to you as well. So it's going to be very tense times for all the teams in the lower bracket, and of course for XC and WG, who are now effectively our winners bracket finalists. They do have that extra lifeline as well, which is going to keep them a little bit more complacent going into the next day. But I actually want to talk a little bit about something else about this event, though. And this is about the event, right? So we're moving away slightly from the actual matches and just talking a little bit about the experience here. And I must say that, well, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it, but just a little bit of like getting a chance to interact with the players and the teams and how they've responded to this event. How do you guys feel?
Well, I mean, I've had the opportunity to, as a caster, you sit behind your computer, you chat to these guys online. And they sound like great guys. You kind of see the master teams at Rage, and you don't really get to meet all of them because you're always behind your computer.
And you meet them and you're terribly disappointed.
Until I met you, I knew you on computer first, and then when I saw you, then I was actually surprisingly impressed with that very manly.
Yeah, just had to butter me up, Jabba.
Okay. But otherwise, it's been awesome to meet the players, to actually put voices to faces. In-game names to real-life names. One of the things that you kind of see is like, hi, I'm actually Jono, but you know me as Jabba. It's always these two facets of how people live their real life as well as their in-game life.
I completely agree. I worked with VS Gaming for a couple of years, and you know, because the teams are always changing, there are always new players coming in. You know, it's forever changing, and they have new faces all the time, and you just can't keep up with who's who.
Yeah.
So it's nice to come and then see like who they are, and then try to see their real faces, as you mentioned. And as for the events, I mean, the catering was just top notch. I enjoyed every second of this.
I like that, by the way. It's very important. I mean, we know about the dark days, right, of casting, when it was sort of...
Mom, pack me sandwiches, please.
Yeah, there was some dark days as far as I go. So we do actually really appreciate the food, but I mean,
well, not just the food catering, but like the hospitality.
Yeah.
I said the wrong word. Yeah, the hospitality was amazing.
I certainly appreciate the food most.
Yeah, well, it's the first thing you always say.
Yeah, it's
Well, look, I can account to that. I mean, we did a best of 3 that went the full 3 games. Myself and Succubus came out of the casting booth, and we were like, guys, your food has actually been saved for you. Go and eat, and it's there for you. I mean, most of the times you would be like, sorry guys, you were late and there was nothing left. So, I mean, that goes really appreciated and doesn't go unnoticed either.
So I'm sure a lot of you guys are wondering, why would you bring up such a trivial topic, right? But there's actually a very good reason for it. And it's got a lot to do with the professionalism of South African esports at the moment. And I really do believe that it's these small things that make a big difference in the overall event. It's the things that you don't see, and I would almost call this like a shadow buff to South African esports, is that you're getting more out of everybody, because the players are looked after, the entertainers are looked after, and the production teams that they have the hardest job, I promise, and that's why they go a bit crazy behind the scenes.
They're playing Let It Go.
Mike is definitely he's a different man after he started getting involved in production, and he has gone crazy. I can hear in my ear agreeing, so I can confirm that. But it's those small differences that make a massive thing. You get better games out of it. You get better shoutcasting performance out of it, and of course you even get some very interesting production out of it. It's probably the way I can say it. It's been an interesting time, but effectively it is something I think is worth mentioning, and it's a really promising position for SA esports to be in. I think we're running a little bit short on time. That's probably time to take a quick break. This will be the next matchup, of course, being the last one of the evening. It's going to be a really difficult one, I think, for Pulse. Energy are going to have something to prove, I would imagine, and Pulse might just be on the receiving end of that. But all the same, we'll see if Pulse can keep the dream alive, and who knows, we could get one of the biggest upsets of the tournament. So
ban Death Prophet.
Ban Death Prophet. Yeah, there's a couple of things, and apparently probably pick less Darks here. It doesn't seem to be doing particularly well. It's got a couple of wins. I mean, fine, fair enough. I'm interested to see the new stats, and there'll be an interesting surprise about those stats soon. But anyways, gentlemen and ladies, we'll see you shortly. Until then, cheers and goodbye.